Good evening, everyone. Welcome to Union County Fair here in Marysville, Ohio. It is just me, myself, and I, kind of, tonight. We do have Barry Vickroy, who was originally scheduled to be on the OHHA broadcast. He got called over to do some announcing duty, so I think he might pop on here and there occasionally because he is still mic'd out for us. And I've got Stephen Taylor behind the camera, and we've just got 9 races for you this evening. We are going to try to roll them a little quicker. It sounds like we have some weather moving in our way. And one thing about Marysville is we do not have any wagering on the fairgrounds, so these ones always tend to go a little bit faster anyway. So far, so good. We've got a nice little crowd going, and this is the first year, at least in a long time, since I've been doing the OHHA broadcasting, that we have had an evening post here at Marysville. So this is day 1 of 1, and we've got our 3-year-olds, both trotters, pacers, colts, and fillies, all the 3-year-olds this evening. And we're going to come back tomorrow for day 2 for our 2-year-olds, and that post time is 11 a.m. tomorrow. I'll be myself, and I think Michael Langer might be with me tomorrow. But just 9 races to bring you today, 9 races to bring you tomorrow. So thanks for joining us again. I don't think I introduced myself. I just said it was me, myself, and I. I'm Ashley Daly. And there is our call to post. I'm going to roll it on up to Barry to introduce you to the field of the first.
Horses on the track ready to post for the first race. Ohio Fair Racing Conference, 3-year-old colt pace. Total purse, $14,916. This division, $4,972. Field of 6, put Uriah Miller on the 3, Mickey Holiday on the 6. Here's the field. Number 1, Mr. American Apple, on with Matt Rowe. Josh Rowe trains and drives. 2, Strong with My Life Away, owned by Dennis Paver and trainer Joe Paver with Curtis Harper. 3 is Rockin' Pip, owned by Jeff Burton. Brian Clemens trains, Uriah Miller drives. 4 is Racing Terror, owned by Altmeyer Wilder Racing. Terry Milhome, David Wills, and S. Burton. Dan Altmeyer, the trainer with Jason Thompson. 5, here's a Diamond Stud, and here's a Stock Inc. And Leanne Carroll, Jess McCown trains Cam McCown, the driver. 6 is Big Hoss, owned by Butter Stable and Billy Talbert. Kidhurst trains Make the Driver, Mickey Holiday. Field of 6 for the first.
There you go. I'm just going to be nice and quick through this field. Just a couple more housekeeping before we just keep rolling right along. This track does score 5 wide, so I think in most of our races this evening we're going to have 1 or 2 trailers. So there's your reminder. We only score 5 wide here at Marysville. If you'd like to follow along with the program and you're not seeing our little chat bot pop up in the YouTube comments, head on over to harnessracingohio.com. That's where you're always going to be able to find those programs live and free for you about an hour before every single post time. Race 1, going for a purse of $4,972. These is the first division of 3-year-old colt pacers. From the rail, you saw Josh Rowe trains and drives Mr. American Apple. This is a 3-year-old gelding by Mr. Apples out of an Art Major mare owned by Matt Rowe of Urbana, Ohio. 13 seasonal starts with 1 win, 2 seconds, and 2 third-place finishes for $17,000 so far on the year. If we go back a handful, middle of June at Scioto Downs, did time a mile in 53 and 4. Our 2-horse, driven by Curtis Harper for Joe Paver. This is a Western Fame colt, Horsemen, My Life Away, out of a Woodstock mare. Didn't start last year at all. But currently, as a sophomore, has 3 lifetime starts and did finish 3rd his last time out. Unfortunately, at Oak Harbor, he did make a break behind the gate, but did come back very nicely. Finished his mile in 2:08 and won there again for that 3rd place finish. The 3-horse, Rockin' Pippa, now driven by Uriah Miller for Brian Clemens, is a well-said gelding of a Sportsmaster mare. 14 seasonal starts with 2 wins and 5 third-place finishes to make over $10,000 on the year. I wouldn't say he was necessarily lightly started, but kind of slowly started, I want to say. His freshman year just made $1,000, so already on the up and up. If we go back a handful to the beginning of June at Northfield, non-winners of 1, did have a 3rd-place finish there and paced his mile in 54 and 4. Jason Thompson is who I have on the 4, Racing Terror for Dan Altmeyer. This is a Racing Hill gelding, owned a little bit out of Ohio, but we do have some Pennsylvania connections. The Altmeyer Wilder Racing of Washington, Pennsylvania, coming off a 3rd-place finish at the Meadows in 156 and 1. No starts as a freshman. Still looking for the first lifetime win in 12 seasonal starts this year. The 5, Cam McCown for Jess McCown. Here's a Diamond Stud coming off a 2nd-place finish. Stepping up to that middle tier, the Buckeye Stallion, the straights, timed that second place mile in 1:52 and 2. $13,000 made on the year. Right out the field, starting from the second tier, we've got Mickey Holiday, Big Hoss. This is a Kenny Hurst trainee by the Ponderosa, coming off another third place finish at Washington Courthouse in 2:02 flat. Still looking to break the maiden. It's throwing on up to Barry Vickroy for the call of the first.
Here off, Mr. American Apple off stride at the start. Out for the lead goes Racing Terror to his inside. Rockin' Pippa driving up on the outside, third into the turn. Here's a Diamond Stud away fourth, Stroming My Life away. Next is Big Hoss. The early breaker is the trailer. Mr. American Apple as they spin off the turn and head down the backstretch. Up on the outside, Racing Terror and Pennsylvania Jason Thompson to the top. Inside, Rockin' Pip up on the outside. Here's a Diamond Stud rushing to the top for McCown. Two-bag Big Hoss, followed by Stroming My Life away. And the trailer, Mr. American Apple. They were past the quarter, 28 and 2, and leading the way now. Here's a Diamond Stud as they circle the far turn first time. In there, second, Racing Terror. Following third, Rockin' Pippa. Racing fourth is Big Hoss. Gap down, Stroming My Life away. Mr. American Apple is the trailer. Into the stretch to the halfway point, and here's a Diamond Stud has got the lead. McCown is dragging the brake and peeking over his shoulder from the pocket is Racing Terror. Big Hoss up on the outside. He's now third, now second, going after the leader. Locked in, Rockin' Pippa, 59 and 1 for the half. Mr. American Apple has recovered from his early miscue. He's fifth on the outside, going right on for Josh Rowe. The trailer now Stroming My Life away onto the back stretch. They'll drive for three-quarters. Here's a Diamond Stud on the inside with the lead. Outside, Big Hoss trying to get to him. Racing Terror is getting the trip, but he'll need room. In there, inside, Rockin' Pippa. Outside, Mr. American Apple and far back. The trailer gapped out. Stroming My Life away. The past three-quarters at 1:28 and 3. Here's a Diamond Stud with the lead. Racing Terror now has room to vacate the pocket as Big Hoss is landed in retreat. Inside, Rockin' Pippa. Outside, Mr. American Apple. They come to the top of the stretch. Here's a Diamond Stud with the lead, and he is drawing away with every stride. Cam McCown, and here's a Diamond Stud to win it from Racing Terror. Rockin' Pippa, Big Hoss, Mr. American Apple, and Stroming My Life away the mile, 1:56 and 3.
1:56 and 3, so already a nice mile to get us kicked off here this evening for those 3-year-old colt pacers. And that was all. Here's a Diamond Stud. As when I first introduced, mentioned that we do not have wagering here, so we're gonna move on kind of quick here. But if we did have wagering, I'm gonna say, looking at the program lines, he was tons the best, and he showed up and showed out, coming off that second place finish from the Buckeye Stallion series just last week there at Northfield. It's going to make 11 seasonal starts for Here's a Diamond Stud. 2 wins now. That's about $2,500 more to his lifetime earnings. I have 5, 4, 3 across the wire. Opening quarter 28 and 2 to the half, 59 and 1. 3/4 128 and 3, and that final mile time 1:56 and 3. We're still a whole second off from the pacing track record that was set in 2021 by Calvin L. 1:55 and 3. So we thought we might have been knocking on the door, but we were still a whole second.
Half 59 and 1. 3/4 128 and 3. Time of the mile 1:56 and 3. Back in front of the grandstand, winner of the first race, First Division Ohio Fair Racing Conference, a 3-year-old colt pace. Number 5, Here's a Diamond Stud, is a 3-year-old gelded son of Sumika Velade out of the Cam Luck mare. It's Perfect. Owned by Here's a Stock Inc. and breeder Leanne Carroll. Jess McCown, the winning trainer. Cam McCown, the winning driver. 4th career win for Here's a Diamond Stud. 2nd of the season, the mile in 1:56 and 3.
So I think we're going to wait just a moment to get that final rundown officially. And I think Well, Barry was going to. We have just a moment. We've got some raffles going on in front of the grandstand. Actually, I will say, the last handful of years I've been here, it's always been an 11 a.m. post for both days. This is the first year, at least in the time I've worked with OHHA, that we've had an evening post, and it seems to be doing the thing. There's actually quite a few more people in the grandstand than in past years. Barry's I think he's trying to think about coming back on to give us that final rundown. And then if you have that number, you can just come on down here for your prize.
Here's how they finished first race. Mr. American Apple 4, Strong went away 6. Rocket Pippa 3, Racing Terror 2. Here's a Diamond Stud, the winner being Os 5. 4, 6, 3, 2, 5 on the bottom. Here's a Diamond Stud, 56 and 3. Second race, first division, Ohio Fair Racing Conference 3, race ticket.
Well, so Barry did not turn his mic on for that one. I don't know if ours picked that up at all. But our winner, of course, was Here's a Diamond Stud. Second was Racing Terror. Third, Rockin' Pippa. Mr. American Apple, I think he said, was fourth. Came across fourth. And fifth was Big Haas. Turning the page. Race 2 coming up out of 9 total races for our 3-year-olds here at this evening. Next is going to be our 3-year-old filly trotters with a purse of $7,089. A field of 5 we're looking for. Let's thank our sponsors, and I'll tell you about the horses.
The roots of harness racing are born at the county fair. For over 150 years, people have gathered to watch horses battle it out for fame and glory. Catch the thrills this summer at an Ohio Fair Racing Conference County Fair. The OFRC races at 22 fairs in 20 Ohio counties. Trotters and pacers put it all on the line to be called the best in the Buckeye State. The Ohio Fair Racing Conference, where the path to greatness begins.
At Ohio State's Galbraith Equine Center, our veterinary champions are here for your champions 24/7, 365 days a year, providing advanced specialty care for sports horses from all stages and disciplines. Our expert team of boarded surgeons and sports medicine and rehabilitation specialists, together with veterinary cardiologists, internal medicine, and ophthalmologists, make our hospital your best resource for all sports horse performance issues. The Ohio State Veterinary Medical Center's Galbraith Equine Hospital. Call us today at 614-292-6661.
Race number 2 of 9 coming up next at Marysville Fair, Union County Fairgrounds. This is actually not the only fair that happens in this county. Richwood, the Independent Fair, is also technically hosted in Union County as well, and that's in September, early September, I think, if I'm remembering quickly off the top of my head. We already have a couple horses out for the second, so we were not playing around. We said we're going to roll them a little bit faster tonight. We are feeling a little, I don't not say threatened quite yet, but a little worried about some storms that may possibly roll in. We just want to make sure that this track can hold up, and that's why we want to roll them out as fast as we can this evening. So far, it's been, a good race. That was a nice mile put up by our 3-year-old colt pacers, 56 and 3. So almost thinking about knocking on the door of the track record. So if we do get done quickly here this evening, Mount Vernon has another card yet to go. 6 p.m. post time. I did not look. Steven, did you see how many races they had at Mount Vernon? I don't know either. I should have looked a little harder. Mount Vernon had technically both cards today. They started at 1 p.m. Hopefully a few of you got to join in for that. And they're going to round out their 2026 season with a 6 p.m. card as well. I want to say Susan and maybe our intern Sam Mayhew are up there all day. So if we do get finished up here nice and quick, there should be plenty more racing at Mount Vernon. Tomorrow I'm back here at 11 a.m., but I think I'll have Michael Langer with me. And then tomorrow is my doubleheader. There's quite a few things going on. Oh, Mount Vernon only has, okay. Mount Vernon has 11, so there's still plenty more racing after we finish up here today. But tomorrow I'm back here at 11 a.m. And I actually have a doubleheader, and I'll finish out my day at 5 at Sydney.
For the second race, First Division Ohio Fair Racing Conference, 3-year-old filly trot. Total purse, $14,178. This division, $7,089. 2 Lori's Ticket make the driver Scarlett Wilder. We'll parade and go right to the gate. Here's the field number 1, Little Queenie, owned by Trish Salisbury and Rick Shout. Jess McCown trains, Cam McCown drives. Number 2, Lori's Ticket, owned by Terry Milhone and Altmeyer Wilder Racing. Scarlett Wilder trains and now drives. Number 3, Aunt Sarah, owned by trainer Brittany Baker and driver Logan Powell. 4, Casino Stones, by trainer Chris Beaver and Natalia Ortiz Acosta. Chris Beaver drives. Completing the field 5, My Secret Money, owned by trainer Mike Sweeney and Limmer Racing. Curtis Harper is in the sulky. Field of 5.
There you go. First division. Sophomore filly trotter, $7,089. So our purses are nice and big, nice and padded here this afternoon because we're not splitting it into too many divisions. On the rail, Cam McCowan for Jess McCowan. Going to try to take that daily double back to back with Little Queenie. This is a What the Hill filly out of a triumphant Caviar mare coming off a second place finish at just the fair stakes at Washington Courthouse. Time that mile in that second place finish in 2:03.2. Looks like if we go back deeper in the lines, though, did try to step it up into the Buckeye Claiming Series, so kind of that tier B of that middle tier. At Scioto Downs back early June, did time a 57 3 miles. Still looking for the first seasonal win in 9 starts in 2026. The 2, Scarlett Wilder, trains and drives this Uncle Peter filly out of Victory Sam Mayer. 4 seasonal starts as a freshman, coming on quite a bit stronger as far as starts go. We're up to 12 in 2026. Still looking to hit the board for the first time, however, but we do have almost $1,000 on the card. Over at the Meadows, going consistently around 59. Logan Powell to drive the 3, Aunt Sarah for Brittany Baker. This is another Uncle Peter filly out of a Muscle Massive mare. Another one looking to break the maiden. Lightly started as a freshman. Now, as a sophomore, has 8 seasonal starts and a single third-place finish. Last go out, unfortunately, did make a break behind the gate at Northfield. Before then, we also stepped it up into that middle tier and going somewhere around the 2-minute mark. Chris Beaver trains and drives. Cast No Stones, a 4-horse. This is a Muscle Up the Goal. 9 starts in 2026 with 1 win, 2 seconds, and 1 third-place finish to make $53,000 on the year. This guy's kind of been all over the board. He's been the middle tier and the upper tier in the Hackett and the Ohio Sire Stakes. He does have a mile timed in 53 and a piece in the Hackett at Miami Valley. Right out the field, Mike Sweeney trains My Secret Money. Curtis Harper to get the drive of this Ready for Money, coming out of a second place finish at Oak Harbor in 2 minutes and 4/5. Just 1 seasonal win in 5 starts for My Secret Money.
Here off ahead of trotting, Cast No Stones first away for the lead. My Secret Money up on the outside to the inside. Little Queenie protecting position. Next is Aunt Sarah, early trailer. Lori's Ticket as they trot around the turn. Cast No Stones and Chris Beaver take early command. Will swing off the turn, head down the backstretch to the quarter the first time. Little Queenie is there in second, tucked in third is My Secret Money for Curtis Harper. Next in fourth, and Sarah, and the trailer is Lori's Ticket. They trot past the opening quarter. Cast No Stones leading the way, 30 and 1 for the opening quarter. Racing second, Little Queenie is following there in third. My Secret Money. It's a gap of a length to Aunt Sarah and 2.5 to Lori's Ticket. They're lined up. They'll come into the stretch the first time. Chris Beaver and Cast No Stones leading the way. Little Queenie there in second, still third. Looking over My Secret Money. 2 back fourth, Aunt Sarah, and 3 to the trailer, Lori's Ticket. Under the line with the lead, Cast No Stones. Had him at the half at 101 and 4. Little Queenie continuing to stalk from the pocket is getting the trip for Cam McCown. Following third, My Secret Money. Off stride went Aunt Sarah. Lori's Ticket will move up a spot. Onto the back stretch of the drive for 3/4. It's Cast No Stones has opened up 2.5 lengths from Little Queenie. Their third, My Secret Money. It's further back to Lori's Ticket. And the trailer, My Secret Money, past 3/4. 1:30 and 3. Cast No Stones still with the lead. Little Queenie starting to get in gears, tightening in there second. Racing third, My Secret Money. Then Lori's Ticket in far back. Aunt Sarah, they're off the turn on their way home, and the drive for the wire. Cast No Stones inside. Little Queenie comes to the outside, is coming on and coming at her. My Secret Money outside, driving for the wire. Cast No Stones and Chris Beaver. Cast No Stones from Little Queenie. My Secret Money. Lori's Ticket, and Aunt Sarah. Time of the mile, 2:04 and 1.
2:01 and 1. Corrected final mile time, 2:01 and 1. Cast No Stones, Chris Beaver. Don't get to see him too often in the bike, but he must be bringing over quite a few tonight, actually. I think he's got a few that he's brought over. When I was looking through the program earlier, probably just because Maryville is one of the closer ones. He is just north of Delaware's where his home track is. Cast No Stones, now 10 seasonal starts with 2 wins. Adds $3,500 or so to his lifetime earnings. That's going to put him over $70,000 in 2 years of racing here. So I'm not sure what he's been up to. So he started off pretty strong earlier in the year. Chris did drop him into the Hackett. He did place third in the Hackett final. And then also just kept going in the Sire Stakes. Didn't have a bad start, actually mid-June. Scioto Downs, the Kineski final, did have a second place finish in 55 and 3. And he's kind of been bouncing since then. He did have a 6 scratch, a couple back, and recently started in the leg of the Buckeye Stallion series. Unfortunately, just had some trouble. Got a little tired for a 7th place finish. Only came home in 31 there, but hopefully he's got it back figured out. He looked great here this afternoon. Comes Chris back in front of the grandstand. I do have 4152 across the wire for race 2.
Here's they finish that second race. Little Queenie 2, Lori's Ticket 4, and Sarah 5. Cast No Stone, the winner. My Secret Money 3. Back in front of the grandstand, winner of the second race, First Division Ohio Fair Racing Conference, 3-0 Philly Trot 4. Cast No Stones, owned by Chris Beaver and Natalie Ortiz Acosta. Chris Beaver trains and drives. Second career win for Cast No Stones, second of the season. The mile in 2:01 and 1. was in 101 and 4. 3/4, 133 and 3. Time of the mile, 2:01 and 1. Top down, Little Queenie 2. Lori's Ticket 4. And Sarah 5. Cast No Stones. The winner, My Secret Money 3. 2, 4, 5, 1, 3 on the bottom. Cast No Stones. 2:01 and 1.
Well, I say Barry keeps forgetting to turn on his mic, doesn't he? So I'll go back through that really quick. I'm sure my mic didn't pick it up very well at all. Opening quarter was 30 and 1 to the half, 101 and 4. 3/4, 130 and 3. Final mile time, 2:01 and 1. For Cast No Stones. Top down went 2, 4, 5, 1, 3. Turn the page. Race 3, our Philly Pacers, sophomore Philly Pacers. Another nice purse, $7,430. Now scratched down to a field of 6. Let's say thanks to our sponsors, and we'll get right back to it.
Dublin Valley Farms, home of Volstead, sire of multi-million-dollar performers, with his first big crop of talented 2-year-olds making their mark on the track. Also standing, Slay, son of Chapter 7, with his highly anticipated first crop of yearlings selling this fall. And Coach K. Hanover by world record holder Wallner with his first crop of 2-year-olds hitting the track this summer. Looking for your next superstar? Dublin Valley Farms and our clients proudly offer high-quality yearlings with pedigree, confirmation, and performance potential at public auctions this season. Backed by a team that cares, Dublin Valley Farms, Fredericksburg, Ohio. At Ohio State's Galbraith Equine Center, our veterinary champions are here for your champions 24/7, 365 days a year, providing advanced specialty care for sports horses from all stages and disciplines. Our expert team of boarded surgeons and sports medicine and rehabilitation specialists, together with veterinary cardiologists, internal medicine, and ophthalmologists, make our hospital your best resource for all sports horse performance issues. The Ohio State Veterinary Medical Center's Galbraith Equine Hospital. Call us today at 614-292-6661. It all begins with a dream. In Ohio's lush pastures, a foal is born with the heart of a champion. Through dedication, care, and generations of world-class breeding, that spark grows into raw power. Today, Ohio's Standardbred industry offers nearly $24 million in purses for Ohio breds, drawing the best and rewarding the brightest. Breed, buy, race, and win in Ohio.
Race number 3 of 9 here at the Union County Fairgrounds in Marysville.
The 5th race, number 1, Carmen's Oh So Famous, make the driver Colton Noble. Race 5, number 1, Carmen's Oh So Famous, will be driven by Colton Noble.
Driver change right there, but not in the race coming up. If you are following along with the program, of course, we're going to see the post parade here in just a moment, but I'll go through a couple changes. For race 3, Jeff Neislinger is not joining us this evening, so You're No Daisy at All, the rail horse. You're No Daisy at All, now driven by Alex Hawk. The 3, Cruising to the Pier, is scratched, sick. Cruising to the Pier, scratched. And our 4 horse, Across the River, now driven by Chucky Bolin. We've got 4 need 2. So I was mentioning earlier, we've got another card this evening, 6 p.m. post at Mount Vernon. I'll come back here tomorrow at 11 a.m. to finish up racing here at Marysville, and then I'm going to head on over to Sydney for their first race card, 5 p.m. post. And Steven, you're up all the way up at Paynesville tomorrow, very early post time. We've got a 12 p.m. post time listed in the Huffs for Lake County. So we are all across the state tomorrow. And then it just keeps on going. Actually, this weekend, we have the Ohio State Fair. So the first leg of the Ohio Triple Crown is going to be held at Scioto Downs. I believe a Thursday, Friday, Saturday is how that is split up. We've got, different divisions go on different evenings, but the first leg of the Ohio State Fair is going to happen Thursday, Friday, Saturday at Scioto Downs. So make sure you make your way on out there to see some quite remarkable racing, how fast they've been going day in and day out at Scioto for a number of years now. They just keep getting faster and faster and faster. And there is my call to post.
Horses on the track ready to pose for the third race. First Division Ohio Fair Racing Conference, 3-year-old filly pace. Total purse, $14,860. This division, $7,430. Alex Hawk drives the 1, scratch the 3, put Chuck Bolin on the 4. Here's the field. 1, You're No Daisy at All, owned by Jeff and Tony Arvin. Jeff Nysonger trains. Driver change to Alex Hawk. 2, Me So Fine of the Winchester. 3 is Scratch. 4, Across the River, owned by Melissa and Roy Burns. Roy Burns trains. Driver change to Chuck Bolin. 5 will be Fire Country, owned by Matt Rowe. Josh Rowe will train and drive. Scoring off the second tier, 6, Fearful Ginger, by David Warrenstaff. The owner trains. Emma Wahlberg has the lines. And also scoring off the second tier, number 7, Stars in Her Eyes, and by Wolf Racing Stable trainer driver Kevin Wolf is in the sulky.
All right, go ahead and take a look. Sophomore filly pacer, $7,430 in this first division. You're No Daisy at All. Alex Hawk for Jeff Nysonger. This is a Western Terror filly out of a Phil and Frisky mare, Tiger's Fantasy. 11 starts this year, 3 wins, 2 seconds, and 2 third-place finishes to make $12,000 already. Coming off a third-place finish at Lebanon last go, 2 minutes flat. If we go back a little bit deeper to the end of May, beginning of June, was racing pretty consistently up at Northfield Park and just a fillies and mare, non-winners of 1 with the claiming tag, around 57 in a piece. The 2, Hank Levan trains and drives. Me So Fast is a Me So Fast, or excuse me, this is a Me So Fast mare, Me So Fine of a Western Terror mare. So looking for the first seasonal win, but this was one that we watched all season long last year. As a freshman, had 6 wins and $23,000 on the card. Now as a sophomore in 2026, do have 12 seasonal starts with $8,700 on the card, coming off a third-place finish at Bucyrus in the Fair Stakes in 57-3. Final quarter up there, 30-1. The 3 is a Scratch. The 4 now will be driven by Chuck Bolin. Across the River, Roy Burns does train this full meet once. Another one still looking to break the maiden. 3 seasonal starts, has just about $500 on the card. Last year had $6,200 on the card, so we're just getting back in the swing of things. We go 3 back. Early July at Scioto Downs. Fillies and Mares on Orange won the claiming tag. Fortunately was out of the money, but did pace her mile in 57-1. Final quarter, 29-1 in that race. Fire Country, trained and driven by Josh Rowe. This is a Catch the Fire filly coming off of a win at Washington Courthouse in 202-1. She's got 10 seasonal starts with 2 wins and 1 second place finish. We go 3 back at Scioto Downs beginning of July. I do want to mention this. This girl can go. She does have a mile pace in 151-4. Final quarter 28-1. The 6, Emma Wahlberg for David Warrenstaff. Fearful Ginger. This is a Fear the Dragon. Last go out, she was in the money. Bucyrus had a 4th place finish in 58-1. Still looking to break, not the maiden, but still looking for the first seasonal win of the year. And the 7, Stars in Her Eyes. Kevin Wolf trains and drives this Western fame. 2 back at Bell Fountain. Had a 2nd place finish in 202-4. Still looking to break the maiden here.
Here off here to pacing Me So Fine right off the wings to at the rail 4th. You're No Daisy at All is followed by Fearful Ginger and the early trailer Stars in Her Eyes. As they make their way down the backstretch, Hank Levan and Me So Fine leading the way. Racy there in 2nd is Across the River for Chuck Bolin. Next in 3rd. Fire Country following 4th. 28-2 opening quarter. Fearful Ginger in line 5th and gapped out and trailing Stars in Her Eyes. Around the far turn the first time. Coming to the 3/8 and leading the way. Me So Fine, a length and a quarter. Race seat in 2nd is Across the River as they spin into the lane the first time. Coming over to the halfway mark. Racing there 4th to the end, 3rd to the inside, rather, is Fire Country. Will come to the outside. First stop for Josh Rowe. There in 4th, You're No Daisy at All. Then a Fearful Ginger and Stars in Her Eyes, the half, 57-3. Around the turn onto the backstretch, leading the way. Me So Fine has had the lead from the get-go. Up on the outside, Fire Country inside. Across the River, continues to follow to the inside for Chuck Bolin 4th. You're no Daisy at all. Then Fearful Ginger and Stars in Her Eyes down the back stretch. Me So Fine with the lead up on the outside. Fire Country will take it away. Coming to the outside across the river from third. They pass three quarters at 126 and 2, and the battle's on. It's Me So Fine inside, battling back. Fire Country, they're wheel to wheel, stride for the lead as they come to the top of the stretch. Across the river inside to the outside, You're no Daisy at all through the stretch. Fire Country outside, inside, Me So Fine trying to battle back. Fire Country, and Josh Rowe to win it for Me So Fine. You're no Daisy at all. Across the river, Fearful Ginger and Stars in Her Eyes. The mile 156 and 2.
156 and 2. Fire Country. The girls outdo the boys already this evening. Sophomore Colt Pacers in the first race went in 56 and 3. And Fire Country lays it down in 56 and 2. I've got 5, 2, 1, 4 across the wire. 11 seasonal starts now for Fire Country and 3 wins. 2 wins in a row. The county fairs.
Daisy at all 3, Me So Fine 2, 3 was scratched. Across the river 4, Fire Country the winner. Fearful Ginger 5, Stars in Her Eyes 6. Order finish was 5, 2, 1. 2, 1 back in front of the grandstand winner of the third race, 5 Fire Country. 3-year-old Donner Catch the Fire out of the Cam Luck mare, face to face. Owned by Matt Rowe, trained and driven to victory by Josh Rowe. 5th career win, 3rd of the season for Fire Country. That's 2 in a row for her. The mile today, 156 and 2. Josh Rowe and Fire Country take the first division of the Ohio Fair Racing Conference. 3-year-old Philly Pace, 156 and 2.
And there we go, official for the third, 5, 2, 1. Fire Country in 56 and 2. That's going to be Josh Rowe's first training and driving win so far of the meet. Turning the page, race 4 coming up. It's our sophomore Colt Trotter, $7,205. Right now, I've got no changes. It's just a field of 5. Join us back here in just a moment.
Hickory Lane Farm is proud to have bred or produced 3 Dan Patch champions over the last 3 years. Located in Findlay, Ohio, Hickory Lane Farm bred and sold world champion It's Academic. We also co-bred and sold sophomore Breeders' Crown winner Yo Tilly. Our stallion In Range set new sales records at the 2025 Jug Sale and is the sire of Set Your Sights High, who was last season's Dan Patch 2-year-old trotting filly. Find your next champion at the Hickory Lane Farm. Consignment.
When you need supplies for your horse, one name stands out: Big D's. Since 1976, Big D's Tack and Vet Supply has been the equine experts you can trust. Whatever your horse needs is available at Big D's Tack and Vet Supply. Visit the retail outlet in Streetsboro, Ohio, or order online at BigD'sWeb.com. Sign up for text messaging and receive $10 off your order. Big D's Tack and Vet Supply.
Own a little and love it a lot. TheStable.ca is an award-winning fractional ownership operation. Buy as little as 1% of a racehorse and experience 100% of the thrill. TheStable.ca makes ownership easy, accessible, and affordable. Communication and customer service are at the heart of everything we do. Get started at TheStable.ca.
For 100 years, the values of BNSF Insurance have been clear. Do the right thing. These values have been at the forefront of what we do, and that will never change. But as the world changes, so must our business. That's why the time is right to change our name to CoverLink. When tragedy strikes, we protect our clients, we cover. And the connection of our values of doing what is right is the link. Combine the two and you get CoverLink. While our name has changed, nothing else has changed. Great service from great people. CoverLink Insurance.
Race 4 of 9. Thanks for joining us here in Marysville, Ohio. This is not my home fair, but it's almost my home fair. I grew up right down the road. Unfortunately, I live much further out now. I saw there were some comments. I was not at Mount Vernon today. That is our intern, Samantha Mayhew and Susan, I think, have been there all day. Tomorrow is my doubleheader, though. I'll be here at 11 a.m. and then heading on over to Sydney, Ohio, which is where my home is now much closer to. There's not many fairs. I live in Tip City is where I live, so about 15 minutes north of Dayton Raceway. That's how I ended up over there in the first place. But there's not a whole lot of fairgrounds that are super close to me. Sydney's one of the closest, and technically I am in Miami County, so Troy is now considered more or less my home fair, where my house is based out of. And Troy is, I haven't been on Troy for a couple of years, but I am finally back on that one. That's probably just a 10-15 minute drive for me. I think that's in August. Everything starts to and has been running together. So we should just be a few minutes away. Yep, I'm going to say just over 20 minutes away from that second post time today at Mount Vernon. Lots of racing going on tomorrow. We've got a total of 3 cards to bring you tomorrow as well, so make sure you're tuning in, whether it's just on our YouTube channel or on harnessracingohio.com. And this weekend as well, on Saturday, we will be at Cider Downs for the State Fair races. Of course, the State Fair, all of the stakes run Thursday, Friday, Saturday at Scioto this weekend, but OHHA will be there for a number of reasons on Saturday evening. We've got a youth event going on, so Sam will be there kind of decorating some horseshoes and things like that with all the kids. But anybody's welcome to come decorate horseshoes, of course. And then myself and Kim Poma will be doing our TV and tickets giveaway on Saturday. So if you've never been around for one of those, it's really easy. You just got to show up and give us your name, place it in a drum. You got to be lucky twice, though. But we'll be there. Post time is around 5:15 or so, so we'll be there around 4:30. Make sure you stop on over. It's going to be a great night of racing in general. But winning a TV and tickets, it's also a pair of, we'll say, college football tickets is usually. Maybe OSU might be involved in that. Can or cannot confirm. But it's just a fun night. It's going to be some great racing, so make sure you stop on over, and we'll be in the grandstand, kind of on the walkway between the casino and the grandstand itself. It's going to be hard to miss us. As I mentioned earlier, it is the first leg of the Ohio Triple Crown. State Fair is leg 1, and then this year, the way that Scioto is hosting the Super Night, so it's going to fall before Delaware. Super Night, I believe, is September 12th this year. So that's going to be leg 2 of the Ohio Triple Crown. And then leg 3 will close us out in the Ohio Breeders' Championship at Delaware. So those are the 3 legs. I think last year the only Triple Crown winner we had was Big Ranger, 2-year-old colt trot. We'll see who could possibly be in the running come Saturday evening once we finish up all the State Fair stakes. I do think our horses are gathering for the post parade here. Race 4. This is going to be a good race. There's lots of talent here for our sophomore colt pacers. $7,205. Field of 5, no changes. I won't do too much introduction because it looks like they are gathering in that turn down there. Last horse stepping out. Something I didn't mention as part as, we've talked about the Ohio State Fair stakes that are going on Saturday and a couple other events, but make sure if you've been having your Ohio Harness Racing passport, bring it with you on Saturday evening. We'll sign that there. There's actually a spot this year. We want to get everybody out and about a little bit more to the pari-mutuels as well, not just the state or county fair, excuse me. So on Saturday evening, we will be there to sign the harness racing passports as well. Is his mic on?
$14,410. This division, $7,205. No changes at field of 5. Number 1, OK One More. Owned and trained by Phil Gross. Alex Hawk drives. Number 2, Max the Mighty, owned by trainer Chris Beaver, VIP Internet Stable. Donald Robinson, William Rufinay. Chris Beaver drives. 3 is Captivate Money, owned by Dan and Mary Crebahenny, Kerry Wiley, and Kyle Crebahenny. Dan Crebahenny trains. Doc Holliday drives. 4 is Rude Dudell, owned by Levan Stables. The Armafall Racing Enterprises, Ed Perry and Max Levan. Hank Levan trains and drives. And the 5 is MJ's Peg's Prodigy, trained by James Bolin Jr., owned and driven by Chuck Bolin. Field of 5 for race 4.
There you go. Sophomore colts. This is a Triumphant Caviar out of a credit winner mare, Centerfold Lady. 13 seasonal starts with 3 wins, 2 seconds, and 2 third-place finishes. $19,000 on the year. He was one to watch last year as well. As a freshman in 2025, he made $30,000. So far this year, he has stepped it up into that mid-tier, the Buckeye Stallion Series. If we go 2 back, he did start in the BSS. Unfortunately, drew the 9-hole, just didn't have any luck, raced from the back of the pack. But we do show a mile and 59-1 there. Last win actually came out of Fair in Marion. Oh, we're rolling right to the gate. Max the Mighty, Chris Beaver trains and drives. This is a What the Hill, coming off a second-place finish in the Buckeye, the straight Buckeye BSS. At Scioto in 54-2. Last year, he made $106,000. This year, he's already well on his way to $60,000 in earnings. The 3, Ken Holiday for Dan Crebahenny. This is Captivate the Money, coming off of a win at Lebanon in 202-2. The 4-horse, Hank Levan trains and drives. Rude Dude L. 2 back at Bucyrus. He was a winner in 159 flat. And right at the field, James Bolin Jr. trains. Chucky Bolin in the bike. MJ's Meg's Prodigy. This is a long Tom looking to stay flat here. Had a 4th-place finish. Last go out at Wellston.
Out to trotting, Max the Mighty. First out for the lead. OK One More inside on the outside. Tucking in 3rd, Captivate Money. As they make their way around the turn, Rude Dude L landed in 4th in the early trailers. MJ's Peg's Prodigy. As they trot up the turn, head down the back stretch. Chris Beaver and Max the Mighty lead the way. OK One More follows there in 2nd, working to close the gap. 3rd, Captivate Money. In line 4th, Rude Dudell and MJ's Peg's Prodigy as they make their way towards and past the opening quarter. In 29-1 with the lead, it's Max the Mighty leading the way. Tight lines for OK One More. They're in the pocket. A closer 3rd, Captivate Money, then Rude Dudell. And MJ's Peg's Prodigy is the trailer. Single file into the stretch. Coming to the halfway mark, Chris Beaver and Max the Mighty on top of the field. Racing 2nd. OK One More out and on the move. Comes Captivate Money first to flush. The half in a 1-minute flat as they make their way around the turn. Rude Dudell out to follow cover. He's 2nd over 4th in the trailer is MJ's Peg's Prodigy. On to the backstretch. The one to catch is Max the Mighty. Racing to the inside is OK One More. Captivate Money did not fire first up. MJ's Peg's Prodigy went off stride. Now Rude Dudell, he'll take his shot on the outside. Was fourth, then third, now second, and going right up after the leader. 3/4 and 1:29. Max the Mighty, the lead down to just a neck. Rude Dudell coming to him on the outside. OK One More inside. Captivate Money and MJ's Peg's Prodigy as they come to the top of the stretch. Rude Dudell takes a short advantage on the outside, trying to battle back. Max the Mighty. Rude Dude L. Max the Mighty. One more try. Rude Dude L to win it for Max the Mighty. OK One More. Captivate Money and MJ's Peg's Prodigy. A mile 1:58.4.
Wow, 1:58.4. That was stepping. I knew this group could do it as I introduced. Unfortunately, I didn't get to talk too much about them. They were going so quickly behind the gate, but that was Rude Dude L. Hank Levan trains and drives. Unfortunately, his last start out, I don't have. So he just raced over the weekend at Piketon. And I have a line to be announced. I don't know if he was a winner there or not. I don't know how many in a row we technically would be for him, depending on his start at Piketon. But at least now 3 in a row.
1 minute flat. 1:29. 1:58.4. First the 4, Rude Dudell. Second the 2, Max the Mighty. Third the 1, OK One More. 4-2-1. Race 4.
Ten seasonal starts now for Rude Dudell. Has won half. 5 wins in 10 seasonal starts.
One More 3, Max the Mighty 2, Captivate Money 4, Rude Dudell the winner, MJ's Peg's Prodigy 5. 3-2-4-1-5 on the bottom.
Should have Hank coming. There we go.
After winning the 4th race, first division of the Ohio Fair Racing Conference 3-year-old Colt Trot, number 4, Rude Dude L. 3-year-old gelded son of Long Tom out of the Man of Many Missions mare Lips of an Angel Oz. Owned by Levan Stables, Darmafall Racing Enterprises, Ed Perry and Megan Levan. Hank Levan, the winning training driver. It's the 9th career win for Rude Dudell, his 5th win in only 10 starts this season. The mile 1:58.4. Rude Dudell and Hank Levan.
Family affair there in the winner's circle. He's got all of his kids, his wife, and one of his sisters. This is actually where the Levans trained out of for quite a while, just down the road, Louis Levan. So Hank's dad does have his vet building, his facility, not too far from here. I think the Levans, we just did a freshman focus with Hank for the first time earlier in the spring. And I can't remember how many years he said he's been in his private facility, but this was home for quite a handful of years for the Levan family. This fairgrounds, at least. Turning the page, race 5 coming up. Sophomore Colt Pacers. We had just a change right there that I caught from Barry. So if you are following along with the program, we do have a change on the 1 in the next race. Carmen's Oh So Famous, now driven by Colton Noble. Colton Noble to drive the 1. Carmen's Oh So Famous in race 5. And that's all the changes I've got. We are still looking for a field of 6 to make their way to the racetrack. Give us just a moment. We'll be right back.
Who feeds your need for new ideas for your family's best farm future? Ohio Farm Bureau. We work with our members to shape ag policy that will positively impact our industry. Farm Bureau is advancing business solutions to give you a competitive advantage. We help you gather information to stay ahead of important topics and technologies. Plus, Ohio Farm Bureau creates opportunities for growth. Ohio Farm Bureau, feeding your need for new ideas.
The Ohio Harness Racing Passport is back. Sponsored by Webkenberg Starting Gates, the Passport takes you across Ohio's county fair circuit and now includes marquee events like Ohio Super Night. It's free and open to fans of all ages. Get your passport from the OHHA broadcast team and collect your stamps. Earn prizes all season long with more ways to win. Compete for the grand prize. Experience Ohio through harness racing.
You can come hang out? Yeah, we're good. We're good. We're back. And I promoted you earlier, Barry. I said we might see Barry hop on for a minute because you're mic'd up. You have a special. Are you on? Hold on. Make sure our mic's on.
Am
We're
I
good
on now?
There you go. You have
Yeah.
a special
I
announcement.
have a special announcement. So I started in 2008 at Scioto Downs,
Okay.
and I'm gonna guess it was about 14 years ago. I had a date 14 years ago,
Okay.
and then Ayers Ratliff called me, and he couldn't make it to announce this fair. So I said, well, I guess I'll announce it for you. I had plans, Ayers, but I'll go announce it for you, and maybe I can switch that over. But Kim Hemming said she would come to the fair with me when I announced. So our first date was the Union County Fair in
Yeah.
Marysville 14 years ago.
And look, here we are.
Now I can't get rid of her, but yeah. So
How cool is that? Oh, I didn't
Yep.
know that.
and then she wanted to come today. You'd think she would have learned from the first time to not come over here, but yeah.
14 years later.
So we took just a little short break because we're trying to beat rain. We're hoping, looking at the radar, that it might go a little bit south of us.
Okay.
So we might be okay with that. But Hank had already won 2. I think we run 5 races already. Hank
We're
had won 2,
fifth is, yeah.
And I know that his crew was running ragged, so I just told everybody to wait on Hank
Well-
and come when Hank came, because I mean I've been back there, so I know how that is. But at least if it's the people that only have one in
That 10,
they're the
take
last ones
longer.
to get in the track that drive you a little crazy.
are right. You're right. That's at every single fair we see that.
But we're getting some out. But I just wanted to come over
Yeah.
and make sure that everybody knows this was 14 years with Kim Hemming, and she didn't learn anything. She came back to Marysville with me this year. So
That's pretty cool. It's a full circle story, though. I like it. So there was Barry. We don't hear, I shouldn't say see. We don't hear Barry much on our county fair races, but man, is he a phenomenal announcer. I think he's one of the best, truly. And he's Scioto Downs, Miami Valley, Dayton Raceway. That's all Barry Vickroy. I'm so happy to have him here this evening. Ayers Ratliff actually usually does Marysville here, but I mentioned when we first came on that this is the first card in many years that we've had a PM post, a 5 p.m. post. Usually it's 11 o'clock in the morning for both race days, and I think Ayers he is here tomorrow, maybe. I think Ayers is here tomorrow. But Ayers couldn't do the 5 p.m. post, and so Barry filled in once again 14 years later. I think most of our horses are out here for the 5th race. Sophomore Colt Pacers. A little bit smaller of a purse just because we've got so many. $4,972.
5 Noble Request, make the driver Doc Holliday. 7-5 Noble Request, the driver will be Doc Holliday.
We were trying to give Hank just a little bit of a breather there, but he is already out and rolling. Field of 6. I will try to go quicker through because I've been going right up to the wire here. They are just quite literally post-parading and going behind the gate, and you heard it there from Barry. We do have some rain in the area that we are trying to avoid.
Back ready to post for the 5th race, 2nd Division, Ohio Fair Racing Conference, 3-year-old Colt Pace. Total purse, $14,916. This division, $4,972. Here's the field number 1, Carmen's Oh So Famous. is owned by Dennis Paver and Joe Paver. Changed the driver to Colton Noble. 2, Fired Up Henry L., owned by Levan Stables and Megan Levan, trained and driven by Hank Levan. 3, Getting Western, owned by Melissa Burns. Roy Burns trains Alex Hawk. 4, Return to the Barn. 5, Here's Ledger, owned by Here's the Stock Inc. and Craig Miller, trained by Jess McCown with Cam McCown. Starting on the second tier, 6, A Little Bit Legend, owned by Tom Verne and Tammy Ackley. Tom Verne trains and drives. The 4 will be Hillbilly Duncan, owned by Daniel and Landon Cote. Roy Justice trains. David Justice will be in the sulky. He returned to the paddock for an equipment adjustment. Mr. Justice, don't forget, you have to come past the grandstand.
Had a little bit of a reroute with our 4-horse there, so we'll have just a moment. We'll go ahead and take a look at this second division. Carmen's oh-so-famous Joe Paver trains right here at the Marysville Fairgrounds. This is a Western Fame gelding, now driven by Colton Noble. 1 seasonal win and 14 starts and over $7,100 made on the year. Last go out was at Oak Harbor, had a 3rd place finish in 158 flat there. If we go a handful back to the end of June at Scioto Downs and a non-winners of 1 with a claiming tag, had a 3rd place finish in 52-4, final quarter 28-2. Last year, Carmen's oh-so-famous made $40,000, so a little bit slower of a start, but we have plenty of season yet to go. Fired Up Henry L. Hank Levan trains and drives this Catch the Fire out of an Art Major mare. Another one of Hank's coming right off of a win was a winner at Bucyrus in 56 flat. Another one that stepped it up into that mid-tier, that Buckeye Stallion series back on June 27th at Scioto, was 2nd in the BSS in 52-3, final quarter 28 flat. 11 seasonal starts for Fired Up Henry L. with 5 wins and almost $35,000 made on the year. Alex Hawk to drive for Roy Burns on the 3, Getting Western. This is a Western Fame colt out of McCardle mare. He did have a flat qualifier earlier in the year, so very end of June. He's had 2 starts, 2 lifetime starts since. He didn't start last year at all as a freshman, but as a sophomore, 2 lifetime starts, both at the fairs. Wilmington and Washington Courthouse, unfortunately, did have a break in both of those races. The 4, David Justice for Roy Justice, another one who's trained, I believe, right out of here, the Union County Fairgrounds. This is a Fool Me Once gelding, Hillbilly Duncan. Didn't start last year as a sophomore, just 3 seasonal starts. Last go was at Oak Harbor, did stay flat, unfortunately was just out of the money, finished 6th in 2:05-2. Cam McCown for wife Jess McCown. This is a bit of a legend in gelding. Here's Ledger. 8 seasonal starts, still looking for the first win of 2026, but he's got $5,300 in the bank. 2 back at Northfield, and a non-winner's a 2 with another claiming tag. Was a 2nd place finish in 54-3. Last year, Here's Ledger made almost $30,000. In the 6, Thomas Verne trains and drives, is another bit of a legend, bit legend. There we go. Another one that did not start last year as a freshman, but 8 seasonal starts as a sophomore, looking to stay flat here. 6.
Here up, a little bit legend off stride at the start. Going out for the lead as they barrel into the turn is Carmen's oh-so-famous up on the outside. Fired Up Henry L. As they make their way around the turn, Getting Western is off stride. That will scatter the back. Moving up a 3rd. Here's a Ledger as they race down the back stretch. Then it is Hillbilly Duncan. A little bit legend is the trailer. They race past the quarter in 26-3. Fired Up Henry L. is that on the lead. Carmen's oh-so-famous racing in 2nd. Here's Ledger is their 3rd. Then it's a big gap back to Getting Western. He's back down pacing. Then Hillbilly Duncan and Little Bit Legend past the stands, leading the way. Fired Up Henry L. probably looking for a breather. The quarter was hot. He leads him past the half. Carmen's oh-so-famous 2nd. Half at 56-3. Here's Ledger 3rd. Far back, Getting Western 4th. Off stride once again. Hillbilly Duncan and the trailer Little Bit Legend will move up 1 spot as they spin onto the back stretch. Leading Fired Up Henry L. has opened up 2.5 from Carmen's oh-so-famous. Their 3rd is Here's Ledger. Billy Duncan, 3/4 history in 124 2. Fired up Henry L. 124 and 2 to 3/4 at the Union County. Carmen's Oh So Famous is right there. And here's Ledger linked back third into the stretch. It's fired up Henry L. Carmen's Oh So Famous come to the outside. They come to the wire. Fired up Henry L. will hang on to win it from Carmen's Oh So Famous. And here's Ledger. 154 and 3.
And that should be a new track record. 54 and 3. Hank Levan fired up Henry L. Going to the quarter, fired up he was. Let me open up my Huffs guide here. That's a new track record. Pacing track record was set by a different Levan horse in 2021. Calvin L. set it originally in 55 and 3. Dropped it by an entire second. Fired up Henry L. 2 wins in a row for that Catch the Fire gelding. 12 seasonal starts, now 6 wins. Hank Levan doubles up, goes back to back as well, both trainer and driver. I've got 2, 1, 5, 3 across the wire for race 5. Opening quarter 26 and 3 to the half, 56 and 3. 3/4, 124 and 2. And again, I believe that should be a new track record. 154 and 3 for our final mile time for that second division of the sophomore colt pacers.
For race 5, 26 and 3, 56 and 3, 124 and 2. Time of the mile, 154 and 3. A new track record. Fired up Henry L. The 3-year-old gelding son will Catch the Fire out of the Art Major Mare Mistro owned by Levan Stables, Mega Levan. Hank Levan trains and drives. New track record for Fired up Henry L, 154 and 3. Who had the old track record? Hank Levan and Calvin L in 2021, 155 and 3. That was a track record. A second beats his own track record. Fired up Henry L and Hank Levan.
It was a drive-by winner circle photo, and I think Hank's going to make his way back around because now the golf cart, he beat the golf cart by a mile. I'm sure his family's wanted to jump in that track record photo.
Western fourth, 6 little bit legend fifth for Lily Duncan 6 from the top down 214, 635 on the bottom. New track record for Fired Up Henry L, 154.3. 6th race up next in race 6. 2 Mystical Rita, make the driver Kevin Snyder. Number 4, what speed limit the driver will be Ronstedt. I don't think anybody was going to come and get their picture taken until we said new track record holder, Fired Up Henry L. A more appropriate photo for a track record performance. This is 13th career win, 6th of the season. He has won half of his
So I think
starts this year.
Barry must have forgot to turn on his mic once again. But I gave you the fractions earlier, and that final mile time, of course, is a track record. From the top down, though, I've got 2:1:4:6:3:5. Official for race 5. Hank Levan breaks his own track record. Fired Up Henry L. Back-to-back wins for Hank, and 2 in a row for that Catch the Fire gelding. Turn the page. We are getting towards the end of the program already, friends. We've got race 6 of 9 coming up. Another division, second division of the sophomore Filly Trotter, $7,089. Sounds like we have a couple of changes. Now the 2-horse Mystical Rita, driven by Kevin Snyder. And I think Barry just said, well, maybe I'm going to get the change now. Yep. Ron Steck now to drive the 4. What speed limit? So there you go. A couple changes coming up in race 6. Join us back here in just a moment, and I'll tell you about the field.
When you need supplies for your horse, one name stands out: Big D's. Since 1976, Big D's Tack and Vet Supply has been the equine experts you can trust. Whatever your horse needs is available at Big D's Tack and Vet Supply. Visit the retail outlet in Streetsboro, Ohio, or order online at BigD'sWeb.com. Sign up for text messaging and receive $10 off your order. Big D's Tack and Vet Supply.
Hickory Lane Farm is proud to have bred or produced 3 Dan Patch champions over the last 3 years. Located in Findlay, Ohio, Hickory Lane Farm bred and sold world champion It's Academic. We also co-bred and sold sophomore Breeders' Crown winner Yo Tilly. Our stallion In Range set new sales records at the 2025 Jug Sale and is the sire of Set Your Sights High, who was last season's Dan Patch 2-year-old trotting filly. Find your next champion at the Hickory Lane Farm. Consignment.
The Ohio equine industry needs your help. I'm Scott Mogan, president of the Ohio Harness Horsemen's Association. With over 300,000 horses in Ohio, the economic impact of the equine industry in the state is over $2.8 billion. That means jobs that pump millions of dollars into the local economy and support thousands of families. For Ohio's equine industry to remain strong, we need to send a clear message to our legislators about the important role that the agricultural small businesses play in Ohio's economy. To do that, we need your help. PACER, the Political Action Committee for Equine Racing, helps support and inform on issues that could positively affect Ohio harness racing. Please consider a donation to PACER. To donate, visit our website at OHHA.com or call 614-221-3650. Your donation will help keep harness racing strong in Ohio. Thank you for your support.
Race 6 of 9 coming up next. We were trying to give Hank just a moment to be able to change out horses there and have his crew get the next one on the track. He drew the rail in this race as well. Do have a few horses out. Amy Holler texts me. Hopefully she's still listening. So we just finished up race 5, and Fired Up Henry L. just lowered the track record by an entire second. But originally the track record was set by Calvin L. and never put 2 and 2 together. Guess it makes sense. Amy texted me and said that Calvin L. was actually named after her husband Buck. That's one thing about the Levans. They come up with their names. They always change a horse's name, right? They want that L. When they start in their stable, they always have an L attached to the end of their name just as a stable marker. And a lot of the horses that we see them racing in recent years have been named after, in some shape or form, have been named after either his brothers, sisters, or his kids now. He's got 3 little kids we saw into the winner's circle last 2 races. We're all out, gathering for the post parade for race 6. We started an hour and 10 minutes ago, and we are already post parading for race 6. There's got to be a record somewhere. Marysville always goes quickly. It does, because we don't have any wagering here, so I did expect it to we pick up the pace a little bit, but this is impressive. The Horsemen are on top of it. We're all trying to beat some rain. I'm sure it's picking up a touch on camera. It's not really dark, but it's not, I don't know how you really want to describe it. It's not super dark out, but there's definitely some overcast and trying to avoid all weather if possible.
Horses on the track for the 6th race, 2nd Division, Ohio Fair Racing Conference, 3-year-old filly trot. Total purse, $14,178. This division, $7,089. Kevin Snyder drives the 2, put Ron Stack on the 4. Here's the field. Number 1 is Tango L, owned by the Van Stables. There's Mary Levan, Megan Levan, Robert Weiner, trained and driven by Hank Levan. 2 is Mystical Rita. Kim Daly owns and trains. Make the driver Kevin Snyder. 3 is Ready, Set, Marseille, owned by Seth Stutzman and Evan Nickel. And trainer Roy Justice. Roy Justice drives. 4 is returned to the barn for an equipment adjustment. It is 1 speed limit, owned by trainer Ron Stack, Robert Smolcombe, George Green. Ron Stack will drive. And the 5, Cruisin' Daisy, owned by Debbie Farrington. Trainer driver Don Feaster is in the sulky. That's field for the 6. Field of 5.
Still waiting for there we go. Our 4 horses making the way in front of the grandstand now. Ron Stack going to be in the bike for that one. I don't get to see Ron drive very much. Looks like taking a deeper look into what speed limits lines. He will jump on occasionally for her, though. Race 6, $7,089 up for grabs. The second division of sophomore filly trotters on the rail. Hank Levan trains and drives Tango L. This is a ready for money filly. She was one to watch last year and obviously still going to be one to watch this year as well. 15 seasonal starts, 3 wins, 3 seconds, 3 third-place finishes, knocking on the door of $19,000 made already this year. Coming off a second-place finish at Bucyrus in 2 minutes and 1/5, final quarter 28-3. The 2-horse, trained by my mom, Kim Daly. Kevin Snyder now in the bike. Mystical Rita. She's a creatine filly out of a Dream Vacation mare. 11 seasonal starts with 1 win. She got $10,000 on her card this year. She's been a little bit difficult to figure out, to say the least. Hopefully she'll do good, and I'll tell you a story a little bit later on if we find her in the winner's circle. Handful back, though, she did have a 56-4 mile at Miami Valley, and we're kind of probably starting to just want to mind her manners here this evening. The 3, Roy Justice, trains and drives Ready, Set, Marseille. Of course, this is a Marseille filly out of a Cadabra mare. Another one that's probably looking to stay flat. Her only lifetime start came at Bell Fountain. She made a break behind the gate, finished 5th at distance. The 4, Ron Stack, trains and drives. This is an in-range filly. What speed limit out of a Conway Hall mare. Looking to break the maiden. She's had 10 seasonal starts, has yet to hit the board this year, but she does have $3,700 made. Last go at Hilliard, did have a 4th place finish, so wasn't the money at 205 and 2. Round out the field, Don Feaster trains and drives Cruisin' Daisy. This is a Senator Sam filly coming off a 3rd place finish at Lebanon in 205 flat. Final quarter there, 31-3. Another one looking to break the maiden. Here's Barry Bickboy with the call of the 6th.
Here they come. They're off. Ready, Set, Marseille was off stride at the start. Tango L eased away from the rail up on the outside. Don Feaster, Cruisin' Daisy to the top. Mystical Rita way 3rd as they make their way around the turn. Next is What Speed Limit, and following the early miscue. Ready, Set, Marseille is the trailer across the backstretch the first time, and Cruisin' Daisy leads the way. Race 3.5 to What Speed Limit. The quarter was 30-1, and the trailer Ready, Set, Marseille into the far turn the first time, and Cruisin' Daisy leading the way. Tango L racing there in 2nd. Mystical Rita looks on 3rd. It's about 3.5 back to What Speed Limit, and the trailer Ready, Set, Marseille. 3-year-old fillies trot through the time coming half, and Cruisin' Daisy leading the way. Tango L tracking there in 2nd. Under tight lines, Mystical Rita is 3rd. Tightening in for What Speed Limit. For the half, the trailer Ready, Set, Marseille around the turn onto the back stretch, and Cruisin' Daisy continues to lead the way. Tango L ready to set sail for Hank, and he gives her the word, and she is out and on the move as they race down the back stretch. Tango L quickly takes over from Cruisin' Daisy. She'll try to battle back. Still there at 3rd, Mystical Rita. 3 back 4th, What Speed Limit, and the trailer Ready, Set, Marseille. Tango L, new leader. They were by 3/4 in 1:31-4. Racing 2nd is Cruisin' Daisy. 4 lengths back as Tango L is driving away. Mystical Rita comes to the outside. Then What Speed Limit, and the trailer Ready, Set, Marseille through the lane. It is all Tango L, and Hank Levan, another winner. Tango L from Mystical Rita. Cruisin' Daisy. What Speed Limit? Time of the mile, 2 minutes, 2/5.
2 minutes, 2/5. Not a bad final quarter there. Our winner, Tango L, Hank Levan. Should have guessed it. 3 in a row for Hank and his team. Tango L now 16 seasonal starts with 4 wins. Ready for money, Philly? Out of a Trixton mare, Lucky Charms and Tricks. We'll see, I guess, if the golf cart comes back over. I think they were late last time because I don't know if they, before the track record announcement, if they were going to make their way. We'll see if Hank's going to do another drive-by winner's circle photo with Brad.
Race. Quarter 30 and 1, half in 102 and 1, 3/4 131 and 4. Time of the mile 2 minutes 2/5. Number 1 Tango L first, 2 Mystical Rita second, 5 Cruisin' Daisy 3. 1, 2, 5. The order of finish.
1, 2, 5 across the wire. Well, here we go.
Tango L, the winner, Mystical Rita 2, Ready Set Marseille 5, 1 Speed Limit 4, Cruisin' Daisy 3, 1, 2, 5, 4, 3, top down.
We're waiting for Hank and his crew. I don't know if the golf cart's coming over yet or not. I can't see it. I'll tell you, what is coming. So we'll have a second for him. Hank makes his way for his 3rd winner circle picture in a row, but I mentioned that my mom trained Mystical Rita. She ran all last year. We just couldn't get her quite figured out. And earlier in the season, she just popped out with a 56 mile. And we realized our blacksmith, he's a great guy. He's actually Amish, just north of here is where we haul almost every single week with a load of horses. He's a great horseman, and he fixed a lot of issues for us. And Mystical Rita has 2 completely different shoes, completely different weights on her front feet to keep her trotting. We've never had a horse like that.
Winning the 6th race is number 1 Tango L, 3-year-old daughter of Ready for Money, out of the Trixton mare, Lucky Charms and Tricks, owned by Levan Stables, Rosemary Levan, Megan Levan, and Robert Weiner. Trained and driven to victory by Hank Levan. That's a natural hat trick for Hank. 3 straight winners on the program. It's a 10th career win for Tango L, 4th win of the season. Trotting them out tonight in 2 minutes, 2/5.
Hank does have a horse in the next race as well. So we'll see if we'll go 4 for 4 here. But official for race number 6. We've got 7, 8, 9. That's all we got left here. In race 7 right now, it is not clear. I did have a change. Race 7, if you're following with the program, I'm looking for a field of 6. The 5 horse now, Noble Request, driven by Doc Holliday. Doc Holliday to drive the 5, Noble Request. And the 6, I Want Mo, now driven by Uriah Miller. Uriah Miller to drive the 6, I Want Mo. I will tell you more about the sophomore filly Pacers in race 7 in just a few moments.
Once a year, the greatest converge. 12 championship races, over $7 million on the line. History will be made. Legends will rise. In October 2026, Scioto Downs becomes the venue where speed meets destiny. The Breeders' Crown, harness racing's ultimate showdown. It all comes down to the Breeders' Crown.
Do you love horses and the outdoors? There are hundreds of immediate openings across Ohio for caretakers and grooms. Work with these beautiful animals every day. Health insurance, vision care, prescription benefits, and a retirement plan are available to those that qualify. Help care for these beautiful animals. Immediate openings across Ohio. For more information, visit OhioHorseJobs.com. That's OhioHorseJobs.com.
Hey kids, we invite you to join the Backstretch Buddies Club, a fun and free club for kids 12 and under who love horses and wants to be a part of harness racing in Ohio. Once you've signed up, you will be able to join Willie Winnett and exciting adventures and receive awesome surprises. Sign up today using the QR code.
All right, race 7 of 9. Coming up next, sophomore Philly Pacers, second division. Nice purse, $7,430. Looking for a field of 6. Do think we might have a couple already on the track. Something I completely forgot about, as I was talking about earlier, all the racing we've got going on this evening, because obviously we're going to wrap up here quite quickly. Mount Vernon did start their PM card, I think, at 6 p.m. as well, and I completely forgot to mention Tiffin. Tiffin is rounding out day 2 of 2 there. So once we get wrapped up here this evening, both Tiffin and Mount Vernon should be going. I'm sure they've got more races than us here. Those tend to be a little bit larger than the Marysville Fair. Is Barry back on his DJ skills? That's one thing. So maybe, Steven, you probably don't know. Barry is very much known for his DJ skills when he comes to his regular announcing at Scioto, Dayton, and Miami Valley. So if you're just joining us, Barry Vickroy is actually on the mic tonight. We don't get to hear him very often at the county fair level at all, but he's helping out Ayers Ratliff tonight. And we always love hearing Barry. I think he's fantastic. Can't wait to hear him this fall. The Breeders' Crown. Barry gets to announce the Breeders' Crown. Eliminations and the finals. Just a few short months. I think we just had an ad about that, actually. Make sure. I don't know how many tickets are still available, so if you plan on going, you don't have to have tickets to get in, technically. There will be some first-come, first-served places. So if you just want to, sit in some grandstand seats, have some space on the apron, make sure you're going to come early. It's going to be first come, first serve. But if you want to make sure that you have a seat, there are still some tickets available in tents and such. I think the clubhouse is sold out, though. That's sold out very quickly. I think most of our horses are out for race 7. I'll go ahead and start introducing the field, and then I'll take a break when Barry goes to the post parade, just because we have been going so quickly behind the gate. Race 7, as I said, $7,430. Second division of 3-year-old Philly Pacers. From the rail, Baxter Tough. Josh Rowe trains and drives this Dancing Yankee filly out of an artificial mare. She's coming off a 4th place finish at Washington Courthouse, but before then, this filly can pace, and it shows in her lines consistently. She stepped it up into that mid-tier, that straight Buckeye Stallion series, and actually in the last leg, so 3 back for her up at Northfield Park, end of June. Sorry, not the last leg, but the last one she technically raced in was end of June in the BSS. She had a 2nd place finish, back by just a couple lengths at Northfield. And 53 and 4, even further back than that, I've got a couple miles shown in our program lines in 52. 16 seasonal starts for Baxter Tough, 3 wins, 2 seconds, and 3 third-place finishes to make $42,000 on the year. The 2-horse, Cam McCown for Jess McCown. This is a summa cum laude filly, Liberty Bibberty, out of American Rocks, a rock and roll Hanover mare. 14 seasonal starts with 1 win and 5 second-place finishes. And 3 of those second-place finishes have come right in a row. Bell Fountain, Oak Harbor, and Bucyrus. Liberty Bibberty has been knocking on the door, trying to get another win on the season. Last go was at Bucyrus. Again, that second-place finish in 56 and 1. Final score there, 28 and 4.
Rating for the 7th race, 2nd division, Ohio Fair Racing Conference 3-0 Philly Pace. Total purse $14,860. This division $7,430. 1 is Baxter Tough, owned by Matt Rowe, trained and driven by Josh Rowe. 2 is Liberty Bibberty, owned by Here's the Stocking, Sean Harville, and Scott Davids. Trained by Jess McCown with Cam McCown. 3 Odds On Equity, owned by Jonathan Henry, trained by Joe Paver with Colt Noble. Number 4, She's So Fast, owned by Winchester Bay Acres, trained and driven by Hank Levan. 5, Noble Request, owned by Brian Robach, the owner, trains, driver changed to Doc Holliday. Scoring off the second tier, number 6, I Want Mo. Kim Daly owns and trains. Change the driver. Uriah Miller is in the sulky.
All right, finishing my thoughts on Liberty Bibberty there. I said she was just coming off a second place finish at Bucyrus in 56-1. Further back in her lines, though, we do have a 53-1 mile at Scioto Downs and a leg of the McCoy. She's made almost $16,000 on the year. The 3, Colton Noble for Joe Paver. This is a down by the Seaside filly out of a Roll with Joe mare. Odds on Equity. Lightly started as a freshman, only had 5 seasonal starts, didn't hit the board, but made 4,200 this year. So far this year, made 4,200 last year. So far this year, she's only had 4 seasonal starts as a sophomore, so she's still pretty lightly started considering the rest of the group here. She most recently has been racing at Scioto Downs. This seems to be her first fair start of the season, but she's somewhere in between the 54, sometimes drops it down to a 53 mile as well. Hank? Oh, we're going to have just a small delay. Odds on Equity has broken equipment. We're going to head back to the barn for just a moment. Just finished her up. Joe Paver actually has only had her not quite an entire year. It looks like Odds on Equity started in the Virgil Morgan Jr. barn. Probably just wasn't producing what he was wanting for his group of horses. Joe Paver got a hold of her, trains right out of here at the Union County Fairgrounds, and has had her since September of last year. Hank Levan going to try to go 4 for 4, at least 4 in a row. Hank Levan trains and drives. She's So Fast. Our 4 horse is a Me So Fast filly owned out of Orlando, Florida, Winchester Bay Acres. 1 win in 10 seasonal starts. She's made about $8,600 this year. Last year, she was another tough one of Hank's. As a freshman in 2025, she had 3 wins, 8 seconds, and 4 third-place finishes, and made $27,000. This year, she's been racing around the county fairs as of recent. She's just been in the money. So at Hilliard and Bucyrus, she both of those starts had a 5th place finish. Timed the faster mile at Bucyrus in 58-1. Final quarter there was 31 flat. 5 horse Noble Request, trained by Brian Roebuck. Doc Holliday now to drive the 5. This is the Ponderosa filly out of a Noble Land Sam mare, Noble Trixie. So definitely some older breeding there. Brian does own as well as trains. Looking for the first seasonal win. We've got only 5 starts on the year. We go 2 back to Bellefontaine. Did have a 3rd place finish despite starting from that 2nd tier. Timed her mile Bellefontaine 2:04-1. And now, leaving from the 2nd tier today, got the 6 horse Uriah Miller, I Want Mo. Kim Daly trains. This is a full Me Wants filly out of Mock May over, a Mock 3 mare. She's another one that she's actually not a bad filly at all, but tends to just not get the draw at all. She's still looking to break her maiden. She's made about $7,300 last go at the Lebanon. Got a little burn up. Did end up 5th, so in the money in 2:01-2. Going consistently around 55. Sometimes drops down to a 54 mile. Move it on up to Barry Vickroy. Call of the 7th race, sophomore filly Pacers.
Here off, Odds on Equity. Push the gate away and crosses over to the top. Baxter Tough inside. Away 3rd as they bank into the turn. Liberty Bibberty from the 2nd tier. I Want Mo came away 4th. 5th as they swing onto the backstretch. She's So Fast and Noble Request, the early trailer down the backstretch. Odds on Equity with the lead. Early move up on the outside for Liberty Bibberty. McCown wants the top. Racing there in 3rd is Baxter Tough. 2 back, I Want Mo. It's 27-3 opening quarter. Racing 5th as they pace into the far turn. She's So Fast and Noble Request, the trailer with the lead. It's Odds on Equity. Liberty Bibberty found the pocket as they come into the stretch the first time. Racing there in 3rd. Baxter Tough moves to the outside for Josh Rowe. I Want Mo inside. Then She's So Fast and Noble Request. Odds on Equity takes him past the half. 56-1 into the turn, staying to the inside. Liberty Bibberty outside. Baxter Tough trying to track down the leader. Then I Want Mo, 2 back. A length to She So Fast and Noble Request. The trailer onto the back stretch. Leading the way, Odds On Equity, and Colton Noble will try to go all the way. Baxter Tough at the leaders, wheel and inching in on the outside with pressure as they pass 3/4. Inside Liberty Bibberty, then I Want Mo, starting to move. She's So Fast and Noble Request. 3/4 and 1:25 and 3, and we've got a new leader. Baxter Tough on the outside takes the lead away from Odds On Equity. Squeezing out is Liberty Bibberty now 3 wide as they come to the top of the stretch. She's So Fast. They're off the turn on their way home. It's Baxter Tough outside. Liberty Bibberty far outside. She's So Fast coming on. Digging in, Baxter Tough. Liberty Bibberty from in between horses. Liberty Bibberty and Baxter Tough. Photo for win. She's So Fast was third. 1:57 and 3.
1:57 and 3. I think Liberty Bibberty got up. I'm not quite on the mile, but I think she got up to get it done. That would be another Jess and Cam win on the evening. I'll wait for the official, though, but I do think it's going to go 2-1-4 is how I'm going to call it, but that is unofficial. I am not quite on the wire. But final mile time, 1:57 and 3. I've got an opening quarter, 27 and 3. To the half, 56 and 1. To the 3/4 and 1:25 and 3. And again, final mile time, 1:57 and 3 for that second division of sophomore Philly Pacers.
Bibberty, 2, Liberty Bibberty, the winner.
My eyes didn't deceive me too much there. Liberty Bibberty come back into the winner's circle. It's going to be a double for Cam and Jess. Said when I was introducing her, she's really been knocking on the door. Before today, she's had 3 second-place finishes in a row at all the fairs. So Bellefontaine, Eau Carbon, Bucyrus, she was just a length or so off. But today she gets it done by just a nose, really. Here he comes back in front of the stands.
Returning back in front of the grandstand after winning the 7th race, 2nd Division, Ohio Fair Racing Conference, 3-year-old Philly Pace. Number 2, Liberty Bibberty. This is a 3-year-old Donner, Civica Milani, out of the Rock and Roll Hanover Mare, America Rocks. Owned by Here's the Stock King, Sean Harville and Scott Davis. Jess McCown, the winning trainer. Cam McCown, his 2nd winner today here at the Union County Fair. 5th career win for Liberty Bibberty, 2nd of the season, pacing the mile in 1:57 and 3. Liberty Bibberty and Cam McCown, 1:57 and 3.
Waiting for the official rundown, but I do think it went 2-1-4-6. We'll give Barry just a moment to give us that.
I didn't want to tell him about the mute button.
Liberty Bibberty was the winner. Baxter Tough 2nd for She's So Fast 3rd. There's a complete order of finish. Baxter Tough 2, Liberty Bibberty the winner. Odds On Equity 6. She's So Fast 3. Noble Request 5. I Want Mo 4. 2, 1, 6, 3, 5, 4 on the bottom. Liberty Bibberty 1:57 and 3. Well, it is for the 8th race.
Well, probably didn't pick any of that up, but I'll repeat it for you. I think I already gave you the fractions, but I'll do it one more time. Opening quarter 27 and 3. To the half 56 and 1. 3/4 1:25 and 3. And the final mile time for Liberty Bibberty was 1:57 and 3. Top down, we go 2-1-6 3-5-4. Turning the page. The penultimate. The only time that word is ever used. Race 8 of 9 coming up. Just a short field for the 2nd division of the sophomore Colt Trotters. $7,205. I've got no changes. Join us back here in just a moment. We'll roll right along.
At Ohio State's Galbraith Equine Center, our veterinary champions are here for your champions 24/7, 365 days a year, providing advanced specialty care for sports horses from all stages and disciplines. Our expert team of boarded surgeons and sports medicine and rehabilitation specialists, together with veterinary cardiologists, internal medicine, and ophthalmologists, make our hospital your best resource for all sports horse performance issues. The Ohio State Veterinary Medical Center's Galbraith Equine Hospital. Call us today at 614-292-6661.
Own a little and love it a lot. TheStable.ca is an award-winning fractional ownership operation. Buy as little as 1% of a racehorse and experience 100% of the thrill. TheStable.ca makes ownership easy, accessible, and affordable. Communication and customer service are at the heart of everything we do. Get started at TheStable.ca.
When you need supplies for your horse, one name stands out: Big D's. Since 1976, Big D's Tack and Vet Supply has been the equine experts you can trust. Whatever your horse needs is available at Big D's Tack and Vet Supply. Visit the retail outlet in Streetsboro, Ohio, or order online at BigD'sWeb.com. Sign up for text messaging and receive $10 off your order. Big D's Tack and Vet Supply.
For over 100 years, the values at CoverLink Insurance have been clear. Do the right thing. These values have been at the forefront of what we do, and that will never change. At CoverLink Insurance, you're a person, not a policy. Whether you raise crops, livestock, or own the family farm, CoverLink's farm insurance can be tailored to meet your needs. Trusted advice and solutions to protect what matters most. Great service from great people. CoverLink Insurance.
Race 8 of 9. We are almost through them. Day 1 of 2 here at Marysville. I don't know as our last ones. We're only looking for a field of 4 here. We had 3 on the track. Yep, but now we do have 4. So we're going to get in line Alex Hawk. Has the 4 horse way on the other side. So we might have a big old gap in our post parade. But we've done a great job about actually being in order this afternoon.
Parading for the 8th race, second division, Ohio Fair Racing Conference, 3-year-old colt trot. Total purse $14,410. This division, $7,205. Number 1, Cafiro, is trained by James Bolin Jr., owned and driven by Chuck Bolin. Number 2, OHHA, owned by Nathan Miller. Hank Levan trains and drives. 3, October Wind, owned by Larry Nybert, trained and driven by Alan Anderson. And completing the field, number 4, Dublin Sydney, owned and trained by Phil Groves. Alex Hawk is in the sulky. Field.
Well, I stand corrected. As soon as I said we've done a great job about being in order, we were slightly out of order there, but it looks like our 2-horse Hank Levan has a handful with. So we'll let it slide this go around. Chuck Bolin to drive the 1. Kefro. This is James Bolin Jr. trainee. This is a Team 6 gelding. Still looking for the first seasonal win in 10 starts, but another one that's been trying to knock on the board. Last 2 times out at Wellston and Washington Courthouse was second. So we've been knocking on the door. $8,200 made on the year. Last year, this horse made $21,000. Recently at Washington Courthouse with that second place finish, did trot the mile in 2:03 and 4. The 2-horse, OHHA, Hank Levan trains and drives this Enterprise gelding out of an RC Royalty mare. 2 seconds in a row, another one that's been beaten on the door, both at Bellefountain and Oak Harbor. Timed the faster mile at Oak Harbor, that second in 2:01 and 4. Final quarter there, 31 and 4. Still looking to break the maiden. Just 6 seasonal starts on the year with 4 second place finishes and $8,900 made. The 3, Alan Anderson trains and drives October Win. This is a Volstead gelding out of a creatine mare. another one looking to break the maiden. 10 seasonal starts with 2 third-place finishes. Unfortunately, had some bad luck last go out at Bell Fountain and did have quite a few breaks early on in the race. But time before that, Marion had a third-place finish in 2:09.2. And the 4-horse, Alex Hawk for Phil Groves. This is a What the Hill gelding, Dublin, Sydney. This is one you probably remember from last year. Made $42,000. Last go out was Washington Courthouse. Third place finish in 2:03.3. Looking for the first seasonal win for Dublin, Sydney.
Here off into trotting. Oeniba out for the lead. Tucking in quickly. October win to the inside. Outside, Dublin, Sydney as they make their way around the turn. The early trailer is Gafiro. They'll line up, and Hank Levan has landed on the lead again. Oeniba showing the way as they trot over to the quarter. Racing in second. As they make their way to the quarter is Dublin, Sydney. 2 back is October Win. Now make it 3, almost 4 lengths back to October Win, and Gafiro is the trailer. Quarter in 28.3, and leading the way, Oeniba and Hank Levan on top of the field. Son of Enterprise leading the way. Racy there in second. Dublin, Sydney following from the pocket. Gapped away. October Win to the inside, and Gafiro will try to work around the gapper as they come into the stretch the first time, and Gafiro has gone off stride. Leading the way, Oeniba up top, continuing to follow. Very content pocket sitter is Dublin, Sydney. It's almost 5 lengths back to October Win. Gafiro struggling to get back on the trot. The half was in 59.2. They make their way around the turn. Oeniba trying to make every call a winning one. Racing in second, Dublin, Sydney. A couple of whip taps trying to tighten in as they start down the back stretch. Then it is October Wind, who's a little closer in third, and far back Gafiro is out of this one on to 3/4. Oeniba has led every call, takes them by 3/4. Still tracking Dublin, Sydney, trying to close in 129 and 1 for 3/4. And now Alex asks for a little more trot from Dublin, Sydney. Will come to the outside midway around the turn to challenge. October Wind still third. Gafiro far back as they come to the top of the stretch. Oeniba trying to go wire to wire on the outside. Dublin, Sydney is closing in as they drive for the wire. Oeniba inside, Dublin, Sydney outside, still coming to the wire. Oeniba, Dublin, Sydney on the outside, very tight. Looked like Oeniba held on to win it from Dublin, Sydney. October Win and Gafiro. 2:01. Time of the bow, 2:01.
I'm going to say it's Oeniba. Hank Levan gets another one. That's going to be 4 on the card. He's already run half of our races here this evening at Marysville. Hank Levan and Oeniba. First lifetime win for this Enterprise gelding. I do think it went 2-4-3-1 across the wire. 2:01 flat. I did not get the opening quarter. I don't know if Barry gave it to us or I just wasn't paying attention enough. But
second to 4, Dublin City. Third to 3, October Win. 2-4-3.
And there was your wow. Oh, if I could speak today, that'd be great. Hank should be coming back around. I don't have the best view here. It looked like that horse was trying to put in some steps in the final turn, but he held on and straightened out quite a ways. There we go. We've got a golf cart making their way back around. So it'll be just a moment before we get in front of the winner's circle. First lifetime win and 11 lifetime tries. Has now made about $14,000 in his lifetime. He was pretty lightly started last year as a freshman. Just had 4 starts, was shut down. And actually, he's only been in Hank's barn. This is his 4th start for Hank. Looks like he was
winning the 8th race, second division, Ohio Fair Racing Conference Serial Colt Trot number 2, Oeniba. The 3-year-old gutted son of Enterprise under the RC Royal de Marizana Royal. Owned by Nathan Miller, trained and driven to victory by Hank Levan, his 4th winner on the program. That's a grand slam for Hank. It's the first career win for OHHA, trotting the mile in 2:01. OHHA, Hank Levan, 2:01. Quarter times were 28 and 3, the half 59 and 2, 3/4 129 and 1. OHHA and Hank Levan in 2:01. Ninth race up next, ready for a field.
Ninth and final coming up. The only change I have is on the 4. Swelsey now driven by Alex Hawk. Alex Hawk to drive the 4 in our 9th and final 3rd division of our sophomore Colt Pacers. Looking for a field of 5. Give us just a moment.
The roots of harness racing are born at the county fair. For over 150 years, people have gathered to watch horses battle it out for fame and glory. Catch the thrills this summer at an Ohio Fair Racing Conference County Fair. The OFRC races at 22 fairs in 20 Ohio counties. Trotters and pacers put it all on the line to be called the best in the Buckeye State. The Ohio Fair Racing Conference, where the path to greatness begins. Feel the thunder, experience the speed, witness the excitement of Ohio harness racing. Ohio is home to 4 pari-mutuel tracks with exciting action at Northfield Park, Scioto Downs, Miami Valley Gaming and Racing, and Dayton Raceway. Plus racing at 66 county and independent fairs statewide. From legendary events like the Little Brown Jug to the Dayton Racing Derby, Battle of Lake Erie, and Next Generation Stakes, Ohio is where champions race. The speed, the tradition, the excitement. Don't just watch it, be a part of it. Race Ohio, it's your best bet.
9th and final, and I'm surprised. Do we even have any horses out? I'm in such a terrible location. Your camera actually picks up much more than I can see. I'm right behind, oh yeah, now I see them. I'm right behind really where the judges and Barry are sitting, so I have quite a bit of obstruction for my view, so I cannot see the final turn, like hardly at all. Coming out the top of the stretch, I cannot see it all. That's where those horses are hanging out. Looking for a field of 5. Remember, we've got plenty more racing if you want to hop over to the couple other streams that are going to happen, well, are currently happening once we close out with this race. Tiffin is going, as well as the final card of Mount Vernon this afternoon. Tomorrow, I'll be back here at 11 a.m. Painesville starts at 12 p.m. I will be then going over to Sydney for a 5 p.m. post. And is that it tomorrow? I think it is. So 3 different races, 3 different fairs going on tomorrow. 11 a.m. here at Marysville, 12 p.m. at Painesville, and 5 p.m. at Sydney. Make sure you join us. Thanks for hanging out with us this evening. I know this card is run very quickly for a couple of reasons. It looks like we have missed the weather we were a little threatened by, so that's good. We don't have any wagering here. So we always tend to run a little faster at Marysville anyway. So I'm sure tomorrow will be in a similar vein as well. I'm glad, though, that Marysville gave the 5 p.m. post a go, just because it looks like they actually retained. There's actually quite a bit more of a crowd in the grandstand than we normally have for an 11 a.m. post time. And that's just because it's always on a Monday, Tuesday, and a lot of people are working. Also, we had some giveaways earlier. If you were watching the entire card, I'm sure my mic picked it up or the camera picked it up occasionally. They were doing some raffles and whatnot, and actually everybody stayed around even after they wrapped that up.
Horses on the track for the 9th race, 3rd Division, Ohio Fair Racing Conference, 3-year-old colt pace. Total purse, $14,916 this division for $4,972. Number 4, Swelsey. Change the driver to Alex Hawk. Here's the field. Number 1 is Western Dancer SBGR, owned by Saved by Grace Ranch. Mike Sweeney trains, Kurt Harper drives. Number 2, Dancing Dude, owned by Yorkshire Pacer Stud Farm, and trainer Ron Stack. Ranger Stack has the lines. Number 3, here's Corinthian, owned by Here's a Stock Inc., Triple E Stable, and Susan Sullivan. Jess McCown trains, Cam McCown drives. 4 is Swelsey and McCarthy G LLC, Niceonger Stable, Mitchell Standardbreds, trained by Jeff Niceonger. Driver changed to Alex Hawk. 5, Barcelona Legend, owned by Darren Dowler, Lawrence Butler, and Shelby Butler. Trainer driver Darren Dowler is in the sulky.
All right, taking a look. I'm sure we're going to go right behind the gate. 3rd Division. 3-year-old colt pacers, $4,972 on the rail. Curtis Harper for Mike Sweeney. Western Dancer SBGR. This is a Western Vintage gelding out of an Art Escape Mare Dashboard Dancer. Didn't start last year at all as a freshman. 4 seasonal and lifetime starts now in 2026 with a single 2nd place finish. And that came back at the Paulding Fair, the very first fair of the year. 2nd there in 2:06.1. Does look like we did start in the Delaware qualifiers, timed a mile there in 2:03.3. The 2-horse Ranger Stack for Ron Stack. This is a Dancing Yankee Roan gelding. Dancing Dude, another one that didn't start last year as a freshman, but 9 seasonal starts now in 2026 with 3 third-place finishes. Last time out was at Hilliard with a 3rd in 2:01.3. Further back, though, has been racing here and there in the Buckeye Claiming Series and some other conditions at Scioto Downs. Look like I do have a mile paced in 54 flat, just 3 back in a horse and geldings on winners of 1 at Scioto Downs. The 3, Cam McCowan for Jess McCowan. This is a down by the seaside out of a sports rider mare, Rainbow Rider. Here's Corinthian. Another one that's been knocking on the door. 2 second-place finishes in a row, both up at Northfield. Last go was in the straight Buckeye Stallion Series. Tried to go wire to wire, unfortunately just got nipped, but still paced his mile in 53.3. This guy, though, can go quite a bit faster than that. I do have some miles at Scioto Downs in 51 flat, final quarter. He does like to close around 28-27. Still looking for the first seasonal win for Here's Corinthian. The 4-horse Swelsey, Jeff Niceonger trains, Alex Hawk drives. This is a summa cum laude. Looking for the first seasonal win, but he was such a nice horse last year. He was up in that higher OSS, made $112,000 last year, $19,000 this year. Darren Dowler trains and drives the 5 now. Barcelona Legend coming right off of a win at Oak Harbor in 157.2.
Here off Barcelona Legend outside with Swelsey. Here's Corinthian and Dancing Dude all going for the lead. Off stride went Swelsey as they race into the turn, grabbing early command. Dancing Dude inside. Here's Corinthian. Will continue to drive up on the outside and challenge for Cam McCown as they swing on to the backstretch. Here's Corinthian, marches to the top. Now in second is a Dancing Dude. Back third, Barcelona Legend. Then on the outside, Swelsey still trying to recover from the early miscue. And Western Dancers, SBGR, the trailer, 27-2 opening quarter. Here's Corinthian leads the way. He's opened up by 3.5 from Dancing Dude. Back in third, Barcelona Legend. Further back, about 5 to Swelsey. And the trailer is Western Dancer, SBGR through the stretch. Cam McCown. And here's Corinthian leading the way, or cleared by 5 as they come past the half. Dancing Dude second. Barcelona Legend moves to the outside. The half in 55-4. Racing fourth is Swelsey. And the trailer, Western Dancer, SBGR, onto the backstretch. And here's Corinthian, has orders from headquarters, and he is marching. He's opened up 8 as they drive for 3/4 a speed mission for Here's Corinthian. Barcelona Legend now has his sights set on the leader. He takes over second, and he's getting closer as they make their way into the final turn. 124-3 for 3/4. Swelsey has made a big move following the early miscue. Dancing Dude is flattened out fourth. Far back, Western Dancer, SBGR, as they come to the top of the stretch. Here's Corinthian, set all the tempo. They're closing in. Barcelona Legend and Swelsey still trying to close. Here's Corinthian. Barcelona Legend coming to him. Here's Corinthian. Hangs on to win it. Here's Corinthian from Barcelona Legend. Swelsey and Dancing Dude. 56-4. Time of the mile, 1:56.4.
1:56.4. Here's Corinthian Cam and Jess get their third wins of the card. Here's Corinthian now. That is the first seasonal win in 11 tries in 2026. Just about $109,000 made lifetime now for this Down by the Seaside gelding. I do think it went 3-5-4-2 across the wire.
Second the 5, Barcelona Legend. Third the 4, Swelsey. 3-5-4.
Swelsey did make a break into the first turn. That was a little uncharacteristic for him. Not sure what was going on, if I missed anything.
Here's a complete order finish for the 9th. Western Dancer SBGR was 5th. Dancing Dude 4. Here's Corinthian, the winner. Swelsey 3, Barcelona Legend 2. 5-4-1-3-2 unofficial. Your quarters for the 9th race: 27-2, 55-4, 124-3. Time of the mile, 1:56.4. Back in front of the grandstand, winning the 9th and final race, number 3. Here's Corinthian, 3-year-old gelded son Down by the Seaside. Out of the Sports Rider mare, Rainbow Rider. Owned by Here's the Stock Inc., Triple E Stable and Susan Sullivan. Jess McCown, the winning trainer. Cam McCown is third winner on the program. Hat trick for Cam. 6th career win for Here's Corinthian. First of the season, the mile, 1:56.4.
That,
1-3-2 on the bottom. Here's Corinthian and Cam McCown, 1:56.4. That'll put a wrap on.
there we go. That will do it for the first day of the Marysville Union County Fair. So I just noticed we did not have any catch drivers win, which doesn't happen often at all anymore. Hank Levan leads us with 4 wins as both trainer and driver. This evening, Cam McCowan won 3 for trainer and wife, Jess McCowan. Chris Beaver won 1, and Joss Rowe won 1. Both of their own trainees. So that will do it. 9 all wrapped up in just 2 hours. That might be a new record for us. But remember, join us back here tomorrow. Marysville will kick us back off for a long day of racing all across the state. 11 a.m. I will be here alongside Michael Langer, and Barry just told us that Roger Houston actually may be announcing. So make sure you tune in 11 a.m. for all of OHHA. Have a great evening.